What's up, fam? It's your boy Chris Sims, and you know what time it is. It's time for Conversations with Chris. And I'm so excited to be sitting down and having a conversation with this young man of God. His name is Joshua Robinson. Come on and put your hands together for him in the room,
everybody.
in the room. Yes, sir. I'm so excited. Yes. Listen, I'm gonna let Joshua tell his story and everything, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna give a little bit of intro if you don't know who this brother is, because you should know who he is. This is Joshua Robinson. Joshua Robinson has sung background for Fred Hammond. Joshua Robinson is currently the organist for that phenomenal group we all love. That's Bridging Gaps, the group Fire. That's right. Joshua Robinson is a songwriter, he's a singer, he's a producer, he's doing it all, man. And his music is phenomenal. I've heard some of his music, and I'm super proud and super excited to sit down and have a conversation with Joshua Robinson. Come on, put your hands together. Josh, how you doing today, brother?
Man, I feel good, man.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Listen, man, Joshua, tell the people a little bit about who you are.
Man, but like they say, I'm just a somebody. I'm just a nobody trying to tell somebody about somebody that can save anybody.
Come on in here.
Yeah,
oh man, listen, man. So I just reading your bio and just hearing your music and being introduced to you, you're doing some phenomenal things, bro. You're doing some phenomenal things. Like, you know, what first got you into music?
Honestly, at birth, hearing vibrations, it starts off like that. The baby, you know, my parents used to bring me to church. It all started in church. Parents used to bring me to church, and I used to have a fascination with the drums. That's where it all started. I used to break off the fan,
okay,
and I'll take the sticks, and I tap the back of the pew.
Okay.
And sometimes the older ladies would let me do it. Sometimes they'd be like, "What's up all that noise?" But eventually, my father bought me a drum set. It was like a little 3-piece, nothing crazy, but he bought me a 3-piece drum set. That started it all off. And then eventually, after I tore that drum set up to shreds, you know, I still took interest in music. And, you know, I was playing the drums. And my mother was a singer. She still is a singer. But my mother, she knew how to play like little, you know, like 3-finger chords, nothing like crazy, but she could navigate her way through a song if she wanted to. And I was fascinated with that. But, you know, then again, I was still just focused on drums. So when it became the time to start playing and stuff like that, I just noticed the difference between me practicing and what I hear in church is the music that's actually being played too. And so that's when I started, you know, being fascinated with learning how to play the keys and play the organ.
Okay.
So my mother, she showed me the basics, and then later on, you know, I was 6 years old, so 23 years old now. So,
wow.
Yeah, I never let go of playing the keys. And then, you know, listening to music, my father was very instrumental in showing me the right music. You know, pretty much my father is pretty much responsible for building my musical Voltron, as some people would say, you know, my identity, the things that I'm, you know, into, such as, you know, your Fred Hammond, your John P. Key, your Marvin Gaye, your, you know, Al Green, all of the good stuff, you know, right. Gospel and the secular. So yeah, that's the genesis of it all.
Wow. My next question, but I think you answered it already, was who inspired you? But I heard you talk about your mom and your dad, you know, being big inspirations in your musical path. So, yeah. Like, how important is that, like, to children? Do you think? Like,
it's really
I got 4 kids, you know.
It's really important. It's really important because, you know, of course, when we're children, we're not gonna remember every little detail.
Right.
But the stuff that we do remember, we remember for the rest of our lives. And so, yeah, when you're young like that, it's imperative that, you know, you pretty much, you expose your children to what it is that, you know, inspires you, you know.
Right.
Path that you really, you can kind of see what they take interest into.
Yeah.
And if it's positive, just let them do it, you know, let them learn, feed them knowledge, feed them the know-hows, you know, and let them build their identity once they get to an age where they, you know, sticking with it. I'll be honest with you. My father says this all the time. If Joshua's not interested in something, it ain't gonna be long that he gonna fool with it. But music was the only thing that I was consistent with my entire life.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm grateful for all of those times. You know, they let me bang on stuff and, you know, make noise until I kind of figured it out, how to make that noise and to sound like something, you know. Right. So it's very instrumental that at a young age, you know, you cultivate your kids, you know, you encourage them and you bring them around, even if you can't do a lot of the things yourself. If you know somebody who does it and you trust that person, you know, let them take them under your wing. Because like I said, you never know. There's instrumental people in my life, like, you know, James Rucker, like Darrell Lee, you know, Robert Joseph, my god brother, James Morrison. That was the pastor of my home church. He was the first man I ever heard play the Hammond B3. Even now, as I'm getting older, but still being under the wing of, you know, Steve Cooper. Shout out to Steve Cooper from the group Fire, father, who's an excellent producer and just a brilliant mind. And so, you know, he took my what I had and just brought it to another level just by being around him and listening to, you know, his tutelage. But, you know, those are the kind of people that, you know, once you start going higher, you never forget them because they brought you to where you need to be, you know. So it's really important, you know.
Wow. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. It's really amazing that you have all those influences in your life and that, you know, those positive individuals that were able to impact your life. And it sounds like some of those people were even possibly mentors to you. And I think that's one of the things that I think a lot of people fail to understand is that everybody needs a mentor, you know, at least one, you know, even if it's from a distance, somebody that you're learning from, you're growing from. So I'm kind of I usually wait a little later in the conversation, but I'm gonna dig a little deep, man. I'm gonna dig a little deep. Have you ever failed and wanted to quit?
Yes, definitely. Learning piano, when I really started, I got tired of it because, you know, playing scales for months and months and months, it's just like, you know, and then I was always listening to, you know, the greats like, you know, Corey Henry and, you know, Travis Sales, listening to these people and even, like I said, listening, being amongst them, hearing them and just hearing what they can do and knowing that that's what you want to do. Right. And then you get on your keyboard and you can't get past na 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 na. You like not even getting past that. You know. So it got frustrating and I quit for maybe like 2 weeks. Maybe like 2 weeks. And then, you know, I came back and it's funny that you asked that question because I'm gonna say this too. Sometimes you gotta walk away from something to come back with a fresh mind.
Okay.
I take that knowledge and now I'm putting stuff together because, and it's just subconscious, you know. Right. But you know, you do that thing, and then next thing you know, you come back and you playing something. It's like, oh wait, I didn't know I could do this. Yeah. You know, and then you try to remember that chord or whatever, that little pass you did or whatever. Right. So, you know, I've definitely wanted to quit before. Now the artist thing, no, I haven't gotten to that point yet. I just switched. Only thing I've done was switched my genre from R&B, secular to gospel. But as far as quitting, no, I never. On the artistry side, no, but on the learning blocks of me learning how to do music, I've definitely walked away from it. It wasn't a long period of time, but I did walk away from it. I was just like, man, forget this.
Got it. Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Josh.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna shift gears a little bit. I want to talk about your music.
Okay.
Because you have some new music out.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Tell us about the song that you have out.
Well, I released an album called From Darkness to His Light. It's a gospel album. Album, right? So
like the album art.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Shout outs to Jair Williams who did the album art.
Okay.
This was the first album that I actually didn't do the album art, because all of the other stuff I did it. Because when you're starting off, you don't really have a team. As an independent artist, you do everything yourself. But I'm just grateful, one, to God for allowing me to have the opportunity to progress each year with, my production, as well as everything kind of grows. Like the more you water the plant, the more it grows. So, I'm grateful for the process. But the album From Darkness to His Light, the backstory behind that is very interesting. It actually was an R&B album.
Okay.
It was an R&B album. Some of the songs on there were R&B. Now, my R&B, for those who listen to it, I'll tell you, it's not raunchy. Yeah. It's not like all sex, drugs, all that stuff that you hear now. It's just singing about love, singing about how I feel, singing about love, singing about heartbreak, all types of things. But it took confirmation because I had the thought, like, what if I did gospel? And I had this thought maybe like 2 years ago. And, I just kind of kept the thought. And I had a conversation with one of musicians that I was playing with at the time. And he was pretty much saying, he was like, yo, if you take the sound that you have now and you do that in gospel, that's a lane for you, because nobody's doing that. And so, I'm listening. I'm like, okay. I'm taking what he said into consideration, and I just kept thinking about it. But I kept making my R&B. I made like 2 gospel songs that aren't on this album just to kind of test it out, and honestly, it tanked. Like I thought it was horrible. But I always said, it's not that I was ever opposed to making gospel music or making a gospel project. It was just that if I was gonna make it, I wanted it to be authentic. I wanted it to not just be me slapping something together, but something that, will actually bless people, something that somebody can feel and worship to, even if it's a different sound, because honestly, I have my own musical identity. I can't copy, what's going on now, because it's not me. Not that it's anything wrong with it, but it's not me.
Right.
So, I just took that, and then, it took confirmation from a lot of people that I was, acquainted with, or, people that I work with, people who I'm close to. And they say, they all said, you can't serve 2 masters. I've heard that from even my own father, who loves my secular music. He was like, he's a retired pastor too, but, he was pretty much just saying, what you do for Christ shall last. And, the anointing always makes a difference. And, we don't want you to waste your anointing on, worldly influences. Even with the music, it's as innocent as it is, that could be a gateway to something that you don't really want for yourself.
Right.
And so taking that all into consideration, and all of the praying I did, and the confirmation, I just eventually said, all right, well, God, if you gave me the gift, I'll use it for you. And then next thing you know, that's when all of the songs started downloading into me. And it started making sense then. So when I was trying to do it, just to test it out, it was bad. But when I gave God a yes, that's when it all came out the way I started wanting to. Started coming in dreams, or, normally when I'm in a session and I'm just recording, I write a song on the spot and it's just right then and there, but for the first time, me doing that with gospel, and it's actually coming out the way I, wanted it to come out. And then listening, weeks, months later, and it's still how I want it to sound. Because sometimes you could create something and it sounds great then, and you come back the night after and it's like, nah.
Wow.
So that's the process. And, that's what that album entails of. It's 8 songs. Wow. It's available on all digital streaming outlets.
Wow. Awesome. What's the name of the album again?
From Darkness to His Light.
From Darkness to His Light. Y'all make sure y'all go get that album. Download it, buy it, stream it. And you know what? Hold that up again for me. Hold it up again. Yeah, man. This is the first time in a long time that I've seen a CD. Look at that. I don't even have CDs. People be like, Chris, you got CDs? Like, I ain't got no CDs. Go download it. Look at the Lord. Look at what he's done. Listen,
got my face on the dot.
Listen, look at That's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, if y'all see me around,
y'all
can ask me for the CD. It's $10 a CD. If I'm right there, I'll sign it and just hand it to you.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get mine. My signed one. Make sure I get my signed one.
I got yours right here. I'm gonna sign it.
Coming on a Honda, leaving on a Toyota. Come on. Listen, man. I listen. You said a lot of amazing things. One of the things that stuck out to me, man, just now was when you gave God your yes. Woo! That was wow. When you gave God your yes, it was almost like everything started to unlock. Mm-hmm. Like the music started to come to fruition. Like the ideas started to come once you gave God your yes. That's amazing.
And literally, when you said that, there's a song called "Everything Changes," and that was the first song that was downloaded into me.
Wow!
So literally, what you just said is literally the same, principle of what happened. Everything changed.
Yeah.
Once I called Jesus.
Woo, man. Yeah. So y'all hear that, right? Y'all hear that? Give God your. I'm talking to myself too. There's some things I need to tell God yes to, and I'll be like, yeah, I don't know about that, God. I don't know. I'm okay right here, but you want me to go over there? But it's true. When you give God your yes, he won't steer you the wrong way. Sometimes it's scary because a lot of times it's unfamiliar, but God knows what he's doing, and he knows what he's doing, and he knows that you have something that someone else needs. Mm-hmm. It's like it reminds me of that journey. I talk about this a lot. It reminds me of the story where Jesus told the disciples to get into the boat and go to the other side. And as they were actively doing what Jesus told them to do, they get hit with a storm. In the church circle, one of the words that we like to use interchangeably with the word storm is trouble. So as they were actively doing what Jesus told them to do, they get hit with trouble. And isn't it just like that in our lives? So many times we're doing what God told us to do, and like all this trouble just come out of nowhere. It's just like all this confusion, all this like insecurity just come out of nowhere. God, I was comfortable over there, but you asked me to go over here. It's like, and it's just amazing because at the end of the story, you realize that when they get to the other side, they're met with that crazy man who was living in the graveyard. And that crazy man was able to get his deliverance because they made it to the other side. And so many of us get stuck right in the comfort of the ocean or wherever it is that we are, and forget that we need to get to the other side, because it's not just about us, it's about somebody else as well.
And let me add to that too, because
yes.
Literally what you said, that's kind of like the storm that I went through. When you give God yes, first of all, God is not the author of confusion.
Right.
So you got to understand when you're no longer in the will of Satan, and you move forward with what God is, planning for your life, and you're being obedient to God, that's when the devil tries to set his traps, set, and throw you off course, which is why it's gonna be like that, But and Steve Harvey said this, and this was funny. Either you can go through hell or you can stay in it.
Ooh, wow.
Wow. So,
wow.
Going through it, you already know victory is on the other side.
Right.
But
right.
If you're so overwhelmed, and we're human, hard times it's not easy. Right. We get discouraged. We're human beings, but we have to remember that victory is always on the other side. Yeah. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh, that's powerful, bro. That's good. That's good. That's a word. All right, now we're gonna take up an offering for Brother Joshua for that word and the cash app is. Man, no, but that was powerful. That was really, really awesome, man. So you would describe your music as being gospel R&B.
Yeah, you can say that. Soulful. It's soul, really.
Yeah, soul. Okay.
Gospel soul, because I might do something that sounds like country, but it's still soulful. I just do what comes from the heart.
Right.
So, but R&B is like outside of gospel. Right. That was my first love. Outside of gospel, gospel was my first love.
Got it.
Quartet, to be specific.
Quartet, okay.
But R&B was like my first secular music that I was like, at a young age.
Wow, nice. So, who would you most like to collaborate with? Give me 4 names. Give me 4 names.
4 names of people that I would like to collaborate with. I will do a record with Fred Hammond before I check up out of here.
Yeah.
Before I check up out of here, I'll do a record with Uncle Fred. I want to do a record with Stevie Wonder.
Nice.
Who else? I'm really an open book, I'm willing to try different things. I mean, Marvin Winans.
Woo! Come on.
That would be awesome.
Whoa!
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Man, it's a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people, but it's at the same time it's narrowed down because I'm more interested in doing a collaboration with people that not hands-on, but influence me at a younger age. That's where like my priority list is. But there's a lot of even younger artists too that's killing the game. Like Kalante, Kaylin Carr is awesome. So I would save that last slot for really any one of the newer artists, newer gospel artists that's changing the game right now.
Right.
But my pillars, those 3.
Yeah.
Uncle Fred, you got Uncle Stevie, and you got Uncle Marvin.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good list. Yeah. What is a worship song that is like your go-to song when like you just want to get away, even if it's current,
A worship song?
Yeah.
It's a few of those, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because the way I do it, it depends on the situation. And some songs are literally perfect for what I'm going through, that storm.
Right.
So honestly, please don't pass me by.
Hey.
Fred Hammond. That's a classic one, but it gets in your house every time.
Right.
He saw the best in me.
Whew.
That's another one. You know, remember the first time I heard that at a young age, it brought tears to my eyes.
Right. Wow.
There's a few songs. Hymns. No, listen. There's scratch everything I just said. Everything I just said. That red book that says the National Baptist Hymnal, the New National Baptist Hymnal with the golden cross on it.
Mm-hmm.
That book will tear you up. And it's funny I mention that because on the album too is a song called The Red Book.
Okay.
It's a medley of hymns that are, it's not all of them now. It's a lot of hymns.
Okay.
But it's a medley of hymns that I listened to or that I grew up in that affected me the most, the ones I heard the most.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's one of the newer ones.
Okay.
And it's funny because even when I was recording that, I had tears in my eyes as I was recording that.
Okay.
So it's like, any one of the hymns that beats any song that I just ever named. Not that those other songs aren't powerful, but those hymns are there for a reason.
Well, Josh, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Josh.
Oh Lord.
I need you to give us a little bit of that hymn. Something. Just don't give them all, because I want them to get the album. I want them to go get the album. So give us a little bit of something. Little something. Come on, give it to the papers, man.
One of the hymns?
Yeah, give whatever you want.
Though no one join me, still I will follow. Though no one join me, still I will follow. Though no one join me, still I will follow. No turning back, 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 no turning back.
That's it. Don't give them no more. Don't give them no. You gotta buy the album to get some more of that. You gotta buy the album to get some more of that. Woo! No turning back. That one. Listen, I know some church mother right now is watching this, and she having a Holy Ghost fit right now. Hey, listen, oh man, listen, Josh. I want to thank you for being on the show, man. But before you go, I want what's next for you?
What's next? I got a lot that I'm working on. I'm in the process of working on another album.
Okay.
Another gospel album. I got a few events that are on my Facebook page that I'm going to be attending. So, City of Jersey, City of Patterson specifically, and Newark too. I'll be ministering at some of these events. I know the 29th of this month, January, I'll be ministering at the Gospel Bowl at Zion Hill Baptist Church. So I'll be there. So if you want to send me, I'll be there. I'll be selling these. Definitely come out to that. And your support is much well appreciated. You could download the album off of iTunes. Again, it's called From Darkness to His Light by Joshua Robinson. It's on all streaming platforms. So whatever you listen to your music on, that's what it'll be on.
Awesome. And Joshua, I don't think we said this before. I don't think we clarified this. You are in Jersey.
I'm in Jersey, yes.
You're in Jersey. So all y'all in Jersey, you pastors, you ministers, y'all need somebody to come and minister in any capacity. He sings, He plays the organ. He preaches. He pastors.
No. Don't go lying to these people.
If you're looking for an interim pastor, come on and hit Joshua.
Don't say that.
But if y'all in Jersey, hit Joshua up, for your events. Remember to get his album, support his ministry. He's doing phenomenal work. It's really, especially us as young men, black men in church and trying to do the will of God. Support us. Listen, Josh, I want to give these last few minutes to you so that you can share your social media, your information, how people can get your music again. And, and if you have any last words, some encouraging words for the people, it's all yours. The stage is yours.
Sure. So my Instagram, people get it confused every time. My Instagram is j.j.l.r.
Okay.
Those are my initials.
J.J.L.L.R. Okay.
All right. So those are my initials.
I'll put it up there.
Facebook, Joshua Robinson. TikTok, Joshua Robinson. Those are the social media handles that I use the most. I put up all my content, covers of people's music, my own interpretation of them. You can download, like I said, my album From Darkness to His Light. It's on all digital streaming platforms. From Darkness to His Light by Joshua Robinson. And word of encouragement, don't let anybody limit you. Anytime anybody discourages you or says anything that you shouldn't or you can't do, it's a reflection of their limitations, not yours. Create your own opportunities and don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. People will be surprised what you're capable of. Nobody knows your full capacity of what you're capable of besides you and God. So that being said, that's all that needs to be said. Amen.
Amen. It's a word from the man right there, Pastor Joshua Robinson.
There he goes.
Listen, I want to thank you all for joining in and watching the show. Remember to support Joshua Robinson again. Josh, thank you for coming on to the show. Thank you for sharing your life and your experiences with us. I want to remind everybody to stay real, stay right, and stay relevant. Peace.